let's begin the game. Oops.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Nice.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Aww.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
I'll see you,
He had
Diana.
been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Oh,
No
no.
one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, is that my cue? Oh, okay, it is. All right. Well, let me just fix some stuff briefly while we've got that lull in the game. I kept having some issues. Okay, there we go. Try staying inside the room, eh? Can I jump?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No.
Wanna hide under the
This
table?
couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
Of course.
Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it
great.
comes.
Oh! It came! Nice. I want to go back.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited.
Again.
Hours passed, then days.
I can't leave.
Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough,
I
the
got an
answers
ending?
would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
Oh, that was an
Now it's
ending.
just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
Alright, okay. This game is fun. Okay, let's do this again. Can I touch things? Can I jump? I'm so paranoid now that my controls aren't working. Well, I can't go into there. 424. Ah! Stanley's no chump. You're right. And jumping is for chumps. I'm scared, you know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did I? I didn't want to. I wanted to see my options. I didn't see that there were 2 doors. Oh, right. Here's the one with the 2 doors. Okay. So it's telling me that I chose the one on my left, but I'm a wild card.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Is that the employee lounge? No touchy, no jumpy. I went right. I made the right decision for me. What number is that even? It's not even a number. Why can't I access the files? This is all I know.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here,
Garbage.
drinking it all in.
And drinking an actual drink. Oh, no? Okay.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I like this. I really like
But eager to
narrators.
get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I really like narrators, especially like the fourth wall breaking ones. But did I? Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Then the end is never with Stanley? As Stanley continued playing the world's finest masterpiece that is the Stanley Parable, a brief glance at the chat revealed something rather unusual. He paused for a moment, curiously considering the curiosity, but soon decided to get back to enjoying the game at hand. Oh, that's really funny! That's
Stanley
so
was
cool!
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I'm pretty bad at following instructions. And the door closes behind you, so that way you can't go back. Caution, do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Oh, I'm so excited. This is so fun. This is better than Quacky McQuacker or whatever we were doing before. Although I will try and get that whole thing fixed. Normally I would have tested it beforehand to make sure that all the controls worked and whatnot, but I've played Conker's Bad Fur Day on that same emulator, so I don't know. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. It will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Well, you know what we're gonna do. Whee!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Aw, thank you. Oh, see you, Nug.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Stanley read the chat aloud. They laughed as the message in the chat sounded like the voice of the narrator from the Stanley Parable in their head.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yes, this room. What? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, is that the only way down? Oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do this ending again. Unless I can operate it?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking
Thank you for following Taryn.
I'm asking for her.
For her, eh? Let me see if I can put subtitles on. Yeah, there we go.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Is
to
it?
put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Aww. Aww. Oh, never. The end is never with Stanley has said something else. Eric H. soon brings attention to the anomaly, causing the viewers a brief moment of extra enjoyment of the game's brilliant programming. Was this some sort of bot programmed to search for people playing the parable and react when one is found? Or was it some random viewer, conveniently having poked in to watch someone play their favorite game? Frankly, it was hard to tell. No matter the case, everyone was falling in love with the beautiful game, even more with every passing second. Oh, that's amazing. This is so great. Ah! Oh gosh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay. Game over?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Wow.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, that's so cool. The person who bought this game for me, thinking that I would really love it, is correct. Like, I've always had a thing for narrators, like self-aware narrators, and this is like 100% self-aware narrator-driven game. Ah! Oh god!
Very sad
Sorry,
about the death
sorry.
of a man named Stanley.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I hope that wasn't too shrill.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes
Look to the
is
door.
a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
What if I don't press 9?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
I feel very
One
called
might
out.
even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Oh, was that vibrating? Is it vibrating? Looked like it was vibrating.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press J to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
That's why to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press 4 to repair
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Press G to tell
It
you
was
the
such
story.
a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press T to tell your wife you love her. Oh, this is so cool.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press 4 to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here. Watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I will. I'll press 8 to be at work in the morning. Fuck you.
Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press E to question nothing. Can I just leave it? Can I press other things? I guess I'm gonna have to do it.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
That's very funny. This game definitely is pushing my buttons. I was looking down the corridor when the door to a room opened dramatically. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, I didn't look as it opened. Oh, the end is never with Stanley says. How many endings have I experienced? Stanley asked to himself. How many paths have I walked down by now? 3? 7? 16? Oh, good heavens, I might very well be at this all day, won't I? What a lovely use of my time. And Stanley was correct. This is fun.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
I'm not gonna make the obvious joke. Where is that old...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, He entered the door on his left.
Was there another door, like, a door that didn't open dramatically that I could have gone through? Back there? Let's try it. I'm such a good boy.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, this is great. Are there any more slides? Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Oh, that's so sweet! This is wonderful. What's all that? What do people want? Things, money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs? Graphs about things and money. Stock market is somewhere here. Rated with charts on the same slide depict the same information. Oh. Monetize free to play. Yes. Broom closet. Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Or is there? Yeah, the projector's a little bit bad.
No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I like the broom closet. Maybe there's a clue to my existence.
Baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Well, it closed the doors, so I didn't do nothing.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Oh, fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I didn't. Think again.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
It's true.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
Nice.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
All right.
I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real.
Oh my God.
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh my God.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Wow. Oh, gee, I'm back. Oh, I've missed out on some stuff in the chat. Ferg said, I can't believe you're spending the end of Pride Month in the closet. Oh, we got a bit about the broom closet from The End Is Never with Stanley. The broom closet. What is there to say about the broom closet? It's an inconsequential piece of atmosphere that Stanley has absolutely no reason to sit about in. There was nothing there, not even a little roll of tape you could roll along the floor. Stanley should focus on the story and definitely not stay within the broom closet. I kind of want to just stay within the broom closet now. I'm gonna go back.
Co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I'm gonna go back.
Stanley
I'm just gonna
decided
stay
to go
there
to the meeting
forever.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That last ending was
When
dark.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Then went into the broom closet.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
That's so funny. Yeah, this is my first time playing it. I'm if I could just pick something up. I'm just gonna hide in the corner, then nothing can hurt me and I won't explode in existential despair again. Okay, maybe there is nothing here. Oh, but I'm so curious now. Okay, let's just do it. Oh, you've seen other people play this and never seen this before? Regrettably, Stanley left too early in his first iteration of visiting the broom closet. He missed out on some witty, sarcastic, and somewhat insulting commentary from the narrator. Oh, that's a shame.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'll have to play it from scratch again. Is this the boss's office? It's cool. Bright bourgeois. Executive bathroom, eh? No? Okay. No fair. Oh, wow.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Oh.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
So funny. Oh, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is coming out at some point this year. It will be remarkable and perfect, as is to be expected.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 845. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay. Oh, but what if I press it now? What is that? Oh, power thing. Ooh. Yeah, the narrator's grumpy now. Oh, generator. That's what it was.
Hi.
Ah! Oh! Thank you for following. The end is never with Stanley.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, I'm frightened. Oh, and I can't see anything anymore. Ah!
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ooh, escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was
Oh,
that at
no.
the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
If I go back, will it say that I made a good choice?
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. Nope, still on board with death.
Oh dear, this is fun. Yeah, let's go meet our doom. Let's do this again. It's quite nice that you can't interact with
The
anything.
door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I really like trolling the narrator. It's so fun. Although, is he trolling me? It's a shame you can't run. Nah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's die. That's right. It did say in the rules you're not allowed to lie. So I'm assuming that you are in fact not allowed to lie. And that includes the narrator. So relaxing.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What is it? Oh, it's just a big hole. Or is it an exit? What's up there? Oh, we did just die. Office worker roleplay. Let's do it. Let's die. What? What?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a
I
blind
can't see
man.
anything now.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
No!
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated
No!
as the machine crushed every bone in his body,
But I'm
killing
ducking.
him instantly.
Lay? Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in good time. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Oh, this is like a museum exhibit. Filing cabinets, yes! Office computers. Is this like the good ending? Congratulations, Stanley, you've discovered the museum ending. It is one of 2 endings that contains credits. Ah. The 2 doors. The set of 2 open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it. An exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Ooh. Exciting. Nature paintings. The office. Button sounds. Well, there you go. Oh, nice. Kevin Brighting is the narrator. Such a simply, such a
Hey
small
there.
amount of credits. Ah! Hey, Marvinling01, thank you for following. Oh. The fact that it talks about stuff you probably haven't found yet is sort of the point. Does it? I never noticed. Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. Oh, I get it. So that way if you don't see stuff, then you might see... Oh, wow. This is like a whole thing. Warzone. Early in development, we decided an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Well, I'll be. This is cool! The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to lose. Is to win. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? More endings, fewer endings, more narratives, fewer narratives, more Stanley, less Stanley. There's an HD remix. I guess I've just got the original version. Why is Abe saying hi so startling? I don't know, I just startle really easily. It's why I can't play horror games. The Lounge, an early version of The Lounge. The Office. The Apartment Timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Oh, that's interesting. The cargo lift. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, oh, we can jump to a different path? I mean, like, how do you jump though? Because you can't jump. After this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Okay. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. You can jump, huh? Intriguing. Zending model. Zending? What is a Zending? The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. Oh, it's all confusing. Zending. Oh, this screenshot, it depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which is eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Oh, it's all so meta. This is like meta squared. Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever, and the narrator would describe what color lever they had pulled. Lever or lever? I'm not that great with the old pronunciation. This game is now paused. Begin the game again. Resume the game. Escape menu. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. I can see that. Held a region lever. Hold on a second. I need to allow a comment that was withheld because it contains personal information, which was apparently just the word lever written in a certain pronunciation. Countdown desk. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. What? Okay, all these endings I haven't seen. Freedom ending? So I haven't discovered the freedom ending yet. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room would go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Huh. Wait. Freedom above. Place the two endings together. So maybe I could have found freedom. Now I just want to get out, honestly. This is all very interesting, but... Did I just come from here? Freedom ending. This is the very first incarnation. Originally, the Stanley Parable was built using textures from someone else's game, but the game had a sort of half-life in that iteration, and soon needed a game of its own to properly allow the Stanley Parable to reach its full potential. Nice bit of trivia there. I'm learning all kinds of things I didn't know. Game design mock-up. This is a level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. Ooh, well, there you go. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to the next bit. Go into the dark room to leave. This is like a Stanley Parable in itself, you know? Like, I can't get out. Let's try this. Office clock. Boss's office. Oh. Okay. This is the dark room, right? Mind control facility. Underground. Early version of the underground portion of the game. Oh, there's a portion. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game. How do I What are? Do we need to sit? How does one access outtakes? I just want to leave! Help! Let me out! Oh! It's very quiet. That is the wrong dark room. We passed it earlier. Oh dear. Isn't that always the way, though?
See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design.
I can't escape.
The kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. This game is just going to make this easier.
Stanley Hotel, California. I passed it earlier, eh? Okay, let's try another dark room. This is all very light. And this is... Oh, is there a dark room coming up on the left there? This looks dark. Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here's a selection of those emails. But I can't say... Oh, here we go. Oh, that's clever. What would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? Oh. I'm gonna come back here after the stream and have a look, I think, because this looks cool, but you know, we're all very busy. Stanley's office from left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. 2011, 2012, and 2013. Well. Help! The mumbling is the outtakes, I see. Exit! Okay, there we go.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Did I do it?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
I wonder what happens if you do actually exit. So that's the end, huh? Let's try this again. Well, let's attempt to... Oh, have you... Begin the game again, I guess. Or resume the game? Do I have to begin the game again? Quit the menu. Begin the game. Hey, if this is starting from the start again, does that mean I can go back to the broom closet? I'm going back to the broom closet.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Go
When
into
Stanley
the broom
came to a set
closet.
of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, yeah.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I'm so upset. Oh, no.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
This is the
upstairs to
worst.
his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud. To note,
that it?
Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
This is so
That
funny.
kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
This is great. Yep. Alright, I'm done.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Oh, that's funny. Is there a way to not go down? Like, they mentioned something about there being a way to go up and the endings being combined. But I guess that'll happen later on, yeah? Oh, thank you very much. The end is never with Stanley. Yeah, if there's a particular ending, I'll see how much I can do now.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I guess I did. this time, huh? Can I go back?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
It's a good question. And I can't jump. Oh, achievement unlocked. You can't jump. Gonna press the surveillance button to activate the surveillance.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Fired.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay. Can I go back? I changed my mind. I'm uncomfortable. Oh, okay. Freedom?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never!
Never!
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
That's conceivable.
But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
This feels like it will turn it on. But what's up here? I want to explore here first. Really? Well, I guess I'm gonna have to do this twice, because I'm definitely pressing this big red button. And that's probably gonna kill me. Oi. Oi. Oh, okay. So I can't press that big red button. Aw, I was looking forward to that. Guess I have to go down here then, huh? I definitely can't jump off. That's fine, I guess.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
You know, we could probably do both.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
Whoops.
nuclear detonators are set to
Help.
explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes.
Ah!
Now this is making
Fuck!
things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
No, it's not.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More
Ooh.
time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
What have I done? Incorrect?
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of
Oh, yellow
solace
button.
before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
Where's
I'll tell
the
you
2
exactly
button?
what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Fuck.
But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
What do I do?
These are precious additional
I'm so bad with
seconds.
time things.
Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what
Yes.
you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here
Which
will
ones are
save
the numbered
me.
ones?
Why would you think that, Stanley?
I'm
That
gonna-
this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's
two.
fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom
Okay.
and then nothing.
I'm gonna need
No
to do this
ending.
again.
Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail
So that
life,
was
or will you let it go peacefully?
1, 2.
Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me.
Where is
all a part of
3?
the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade
There's
in
nothing you
until
can
the
do.
moment I say,
Ah.
"Happily ever up."
Oh, that was tense. I'm so bad at that. Let's try that again, because I feel like there's a way out.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder if that means I'll actually be free, or whether it is literally not possible to solve, because that would be pretty funny as well.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Hey, the Menace! How's it
Stanley
going?
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna do it again.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some
that's
buttons.
funny.
Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway.
Oh.
Quelle surprise.
That's cool. Fun times. Where am I going?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Oh, that's right.
Mind Control Facility.
Doopy-doopy-doo-doo-doo.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Yep.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I think I have the strength. That the question is, do I actually have what it takes to know what I need to do to actually complete that thing?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yes.
This mind control facility,
So we've got
it was
2.5
too
minutes.
horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
You're enjoying this way too much.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had
Such
he
a great
truly
walking
spent his
simulator.
entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okay, so I'm gonna
Here was the
run
proof.
around.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or
That says
content.
5.
Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
There's
over
3.
another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I need to just get the lay of the place here. As long as I know where those numbers are, I think I'll be good. I know one, and there's 4 up there. How does one get up to 4? Like this? It's a little bit too dark on my screen here. Okay. Cool. So I know where those numbers are, and I think the symbols should be okay to do. Here's hoping I don't get a 4. Also, I'm gonna quickly close this curtain because... Or maybe if I just move the screen. There we go. Actually, no, I still can't see jack shit. Okay, this'll do. This'll do. I'll make do. Okay, I'm gonna press the button. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do the thing what it tells me to do. Stanley in the dark.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
We're
I'm
gonna do
afraid
it.
you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is
Looking at all
activated
the
without
buttons.
proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making
Green
things a little
button.
more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is
Okay.
much better than what
Where's
I
that
had in
number
mind.
2 button?
What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about
pressed
you,
it.
about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your
Button.
co-workers are? A moment of
Button.
solace before you're obliterated?
I pressed it.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing
Hey, stealth
everyone
intel.
inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go.
I am
But I'm sure
trying.
whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My
There we go.
goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
I clicked
You know
number
what?
3.
To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds.
I
Stan.
pressed 3.
Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or
Yes.
what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Yes.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to
I'm just
screen,
gonna get the good
clicking on
ending, I
every
think.
little
I mean,
thing in
like
this
the
room.
off ending.
These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
So it's like a
One
blue button
soul?
and
Do you
the
have
3.
any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really
I do
believe
see
there's
how
an
they're
answer?
colors.
How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off
It's
each
like
time you fail.
1.
Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over
So
and
I've got
over for all of
pressing
eternity.
1.
And Stanley died again. And Stanley
And then there's like a
died
light blue
again.
button.
And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just
I
you
don't think
being
you're supposed to do
blown
anything
pieces.
right here.
Well, you
You're
cling
supposed to panic and
desperately
try. Oh, okay. So there is
Or will you
actually
let
no
go
way to win.
peacefully? Another
I mean,
choice.
that was kind of what I was hoping.
It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke.
Okay.
And believe me,
So
I
next
will be
time,
laughing at
I
every
will just
second of
go
your
to-
inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
All right. So this next time, we'll just press off. Just press the big red button a lot. I wonder if that works.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
You kind of
decided to go to
assume from the
meeting.
narration
Perhaps he
that
had
like there
simply
is
missed a
actually no
memo.
point to it because he's kind of mocking you as you're doing it. But then there's that part of you that plays video games and is
When
like,
Stanley
oh, but
came to a set of two
maybe
open
they're doing
doors,
that.
He entered the door on his left.
Maybe it's reverse psychology.
Yet there was not a single person
Oh, I haven't
there
looked at this.
either.
Tomorrow, complete
Feeling a
today's
wave of
unfinished
disbelief,
agenda items, write
Stanley
next day's
decided
agenda,
to
and
go up
reflect.
to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Get Chris out of the broom closet. Ah. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. That's very funny. Still pissed off about that broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I wonder, is there any point at which this bathroom will be open? Oh! Yes! Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Extreme bathrooms. Can't even see myself. No. Can't even wash my hands. Oh, the Time magazine has a picture of a clock on it. That's pretty funny.
Here's the door, just go.
Oh, that's really funny. Is there a toilet ending? Yeah, but it's shit. Oh. Was it always loading like that? Must have been.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What does that say? Flight is on. Call extension 914 immediately. I wonder if I can find a telephone and do that. It's gonna walk right past that escape route.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
There's an entertaining
Did he
secret
have the
within this
strength
room. It's not
to
an
find
ending and it
out?
only takes a few extra seconds if you're curious. Sure. Remember when Time Magazine's Person of the Year was you and they put a cheap reflective foil for a mirror on the front? I do remember that. I guess we'll have to do that next ending. Oh, unless this is it. I can like jump down here? No? When the elevator comes down at the end of the wait until the path back to the start opens again. Okay.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
Then press
The
the button
lives
for
of
the
so many
lights.
individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Button for the lights, eh?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
So this path is gonna open again, right? Let's just hang out. Doopy doopy doo. We're having a laugh. What an awkward game to stream, seriously. Welcome to my speedrun of the Stanley Parable. Ah, here we go. Press the button for the lights. William hides the secrets. There is no turning back. Don't touch the secrets. You never go beat Kurt. That's pretty funny. I like it. I wonder if they like wrote this song just for this. Never give up on your secrets.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yeah, I did.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very
Is that an
place.
exit?
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright, I guess I'll just turn it off. The end? Got some nice music playing.
And a rising chill of uncertainty.
Oh, see us run.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Or was it?
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh, did I? That's not an open door, that's a projection. This is a trap. It's a trap. Help. Help. There is no freedom. It's gonna go away. It's gonna disappear.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Achievement unlocked. Beat the game. And yet... the tense music. I don't know. Yeah, it is weird how that's the ending that you get when you follow all the instructions. Well, oh! There's a phone call? Where's... Whose phone is that? Whose phone? Help! I don't even know what constitutes a phone. It's gonna drive me berserk. The one desk I'm skipping. Oh, this one. Oi! Oi!
contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yeah. Yes? Yes, please. I'd like some... Yes?
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Cool. Got some cardboard boxes coming. That'll please the boss. Oh, it's all silent. Where's the narrator gone? Oh, input received. Oh, I never noticed that. What's that? Did I just turn that off? Am I cleaning up shop? Is that what I'm doing? Can I access the broom closet?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, okay, you're back.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
It is interesting how the door
Coming
is
to a
closed behind
staircase,
you.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, the closet's locked forever. I'm so sad. Well, I have a bad movie night that I need to prepare for, so I should probably call it a day right now. But this was so much fun. I'm hoping that I can get a handle on like the Nintendo 64 controller thing, and maybe even purchase a new controller that works with the emulator. But ooh, more things? Well, let's do this while I'm doing my... Yep. Cool. We're going up, I guess. The world's finest song is about to be revealed. Oh, exciting. The Hedgehog's Dilemma from Evangelion. Wait. And I'm still here. Well, anyway, yeah, I should probably head out, start getting ready for this movie night, clean up the house, etc., etc. But yeah, this was a really fun game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and thank you everyone, including the end is Never with Stanley, for all your advice and whatnot. Apparently there's a new version coming out, Stanley Parable Deluxe, which should be exciting. Yeah, but in the meantime, thank you so much. I normally stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. GMT. But I may do another one at other times if I get bored. Normally, like, playing games is good as a pick-me-up for me, and I've been a bit down lately, so I think streaming is good. I might be doing a little bit more often over the next few days. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining in. Had a lot of fun, and I'll see you next time. Okay, and ciao ciao!